Hello, everyone, and welcome to our 22nd reading event in the Nightlight Poetry Series. My name is Tom Snarski, and I'm delighted to be here with you this evening. I'm so thrilled to welcome this marvelous group of poets to share their work tonight. You can hear my cat Basil, maybe. He's also excited to welcome this marvelous group of readers. We have Nicole Tallman, Ari Lisner, D.W. Baker, and Zach Spruce who are going to read. So before we get to their incredible work, just a couple of quick words about Nightlight in case you haven't listened in before. Nightlight is a reading series featuring poets and writers in a monthly Zoom, usually on the third-ish or fourth-ish Thursday of the month at this night owl time of 9 p.m. Eastern. We're on social media at Nightlight Poems on Twitter and night_light_poems_ on Instagram, where we love to hype up our readings and also post recordings of the events if you're not able to make it live. So maybe you're watching one of those recordings right now, which will go up on our YouTube channel probably the day after the reading. So all that said, that's plenty of logistical information. I'm excited to get right into it and to invite our very, very first reader up to share their marvelous work. So I am delighted to introduce our first reader for tonight in Nicole Tallman. And Nicole Tallman lives in Miami, where she serves as the official poetry ambassador. She's the author of 4 poetry books, including her most recent, Dolce Vita / Let There Be a Little Light. She is also a poetry and interviews editor for South Florida Poetry Journal, SoFlo Pojo, and the Blue Mountain Review. Find her most recent poems in Poetry Magazine, Poet Lore, Pleiades, and Only Poems. Find her on social media at N.A. Tallman and at NicoleTallman.com. But you can also hear her right now. Thanks so much for being with us, Nicole. Take it away.
Well, thanks so much for that kind introduction, Tom, and inviting me. I'm a night owl, so I love this series, and I'm honored to be here and to share this space with REDW, Zach, and you and our wonderful audience. I'm going to read a few poems from my new flip chat book, which is out. Actually, it was launched in April from Bottle Cap Press. And as Tom mentioned, one side is called Dolce Vita and the other side is called Let There Be a Little Light. And since this is Nightlight, it feels right to read from the light side. So I'm going to read, these are poems that are each 10 lines long, and they were written during the blue hours, um, the hours that Sylvia Plath described as blue. And they're a little surreal, going back and forth from dream to reality. So I'm going to read these and then I'm going to take the challenge that Tom mentioned earlier and I'll read something I just wrote this last weekend. We'll see how that goes. I've had not even read it out loud, so it could be bad, but that's fine. I feel like I have a kind audience, so we'll see. So this first poem is called Who Decides What's Wrong and What's Right? And the first line of each poem is the title as well. Who decides what's wrong and what's right? So many people suffered to perfect this drug. Before the irises bloomed, there were lilies. A warm frost covers everything snug. Moss and stones, all their insides grown green. I watch a nurse refill her gaping white jug. There's a field of snow and a field of sun. Do you want the frost or the hug? Take the white light in, and you can let everything go. I probably also should have explained that one of the drives behind this sequence of poems was to try to inject a little bit more rhyme into poetry, which I find has fallen out of fashion in recent years. And also each poem is a color of light, so you'll probably notice that there are color references as well. This next one is called When You See Pink, Do You Think Barbie or Cancer? When you see pink, do you think Barbie or Cancer? We've been trained to rewire our thoughts. I use pink light when I want to look pretty. Pink noise when I tune everything out. The spine of this book is so broken. I've read the pages 10 times too much. I refuse to use the word many. In poetry, none of the rules really count. Break the strongest and the weakest start fighting. See, the carnations drank the roses to drought. Thank you. This next one is in the middle of France, there's a desert. In the middle of France, there's a desert. It's not real, but there's sand in your head. Now imagine the most pain you could possibly feel. What color is it? Is it blood or is it rust red? Maybe you can't smell it, but trust me. Black blood billows from the mouths of the dead. Before you pass out, take the lake to the tea tree. Now wrap your sad self around its sweet head. Good things aren't meant to be alone, darling. No matter how much you seek silence, the elegy you wrote must be read. Oh, we're gonna go to Orange Light now. And this is called The Horses in the Stable Eat Oranges. The horses in the stables eat oranges, intact with their skins still on. No one has brought them to slaughter. Glue works best when everything moves on. When you see orange, do you think fruit or hunter? We've been trained to rewire our thoughts. I think the youth like me more than the gatekeepers. I throw my ream in the ring like a whore. Who wants a piece of my pages? Turn your hazard lights on and burn orange. Oh, we will go to yellow next. It's kind of a rainbow a little bit here. This is called Before You Die, You First See a Taxi. Before you die, you first see a taxi. I know this because a car almost took my life. It was icy and I was driving. It doesn't take much to careen off a knife. I thought I saw a lily, but it was linen, a light yellow that matched her short dress. I remember when she said she couldn't love me. The lemon matches flamed out in duress. The sewers in Paris are so old you smell them all summer. When you're in love, you block so much shit out. Uh, let's see here. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit. We're gonna go to Indigo Light. This is called Look at the Rain Through the Castle. Look at the rain through the castle. Nothing is stranger than air. Here we go again, drinking rose water. I shut the door, but the light filters there. The light on the wheel is a centipede. The spokes are the strands of its hair. The lake holds the secrets of summer. Two girls named Indigo once drowned on a dare. Their dull skulls scrape my tongue like rot candy. I taste their names like blue violets on air. I'm just gonna read two more and then I'll read my new shit. Um, this is called Once a Lady Read My Aura. Once a lady read my aura. I thought she'd say it was blue, but I was misled. She said, "You are a sea of violets, an amethyst of chrysanthemums, an angel in the bluest of red." I didn't believe her and went Ouija, started seeing a dark spirit instead. When all the good spirits have vanished, you too will be fooled by the dead. Please don't look straight at them. Look at the clear lake instead. The moon some nights shines violet, and that's when it swallows your head. Last one in this series is inspired by black light, and this is called There's a Cathedral at the End of This Chapter. There's a cathedral at the end of this chapter. I don't make the rules, but no one can go. Once when I was delirious, I saw the devil. Her red horns and wings were dusted in snow. Hell isn't as hot as they say it is. Nothing is true, we know. There's a field of poppies and a field of roses. Do you want the high or the thorns? Take the black light in, and you can't let anything go. So thank you for listening. And this last poem, I'm going to dedicate it to you, Tom, because you wanted some new shit. So this is called The Long Dark Hall. Music snakes up the lake. Down the long dark hall are the books we all said we read, but never really finished. The old poems are buried in a dusty oak drawer. The jungle under there smells of ruby fruit, and the girls kiss like Christmas comes every day of the year. They do not tire of tradition. They do not tire of the mire of the dumb boys. They touch each other's faces like ghosts who have decided they are dead. A headwind picks up from the south. The roses call and call down the hall. Their voices are a long song stuck in the throat of the chimney, the throat choked by smoke and fear, the throat choked by the slamming of the old cellar door. Thank you so much for listening.
What a beautiful opening musical overture note to start us on, Nicole. Thank you so much for doing that, for bringing rhyme back to Nightlight. Nightlight Rhyme Night is underway officially. And you just heard the beautiful work of Nicole Tallman. So appreciate the new shit dedication. Like, so glad to hear some new shit from Nicole. But you can also get in touch with Nicole on the socials at N.A. Tallman, N-A-T-A-L-L-M-A-N on all the platforms. Nicole's latest book, once again, that you heard those beautiful Color of Light poems from, was the split chapbook Dolce Vita slash Let There Be a Little Light, which launched in April and is available through the inimitable Bottle Cap Press. Bottle Cap is a wonderful press, and we are, I don't think, heard the last of Bottle Cap rep for the night, which I'm super excited for as well. So, without further ado, let's keep the magic running. I'm very, very excited to be introducing our next reader in Ari Lisner. And Ari Lisner is a poet, journalist, and researcher in New York City. His writing has appeared in the Brooklyn Rail, GQ, and others. His chapbook, One Shtick Pony, was published by Bullshit Lit in 2023. We love bullshit. And Ari, we are so, so glad that you're here. I'm really excited to hear what you're going to read.
Thank you for having me. So glad to bring the bullshit. Um, it's so funny to always hear one stick pony from bullshit lit. It just sounds so made up. Um, so yeah, I'll kick it off. I haven't been writing so much, so these are my new ones. This one's called Many Things Depend. I took the winter to play detective, and skincare felt impossible, so I summoned the little gay guy that surely lives in everyone for my grind set, to measure out life in protein scoops, to join men's ranks and excavate dead lessons. I sunk so far beyond that the only thing epic became the lack. The chronic dissatisfaction pendulum swung, and I was Sylvia with my phone, texting everyone. The next thing will save me. I found myself wanting a son, as in a boy to stare at. I do not want to be leveraging each other or to play dumb games for dumb prizes. Yet a keychain almost broke us in the same way that California girls always threaten to return home. Um, I've mainly been working at my corporate job and watching the Mets, so that's where a lot of these poems come from. Um, this one is called Simple Man. Simple Man. With the Mets just not hitting, my mistakes become magnified. The business becomes about the big rocks, massive unlocks, and me, a worthless currency. Struggling for concept, I consider the DHT blockers might bear blame. My hair or my happiness. It seems I lose my head either way. I am a simple kind of man, a hateful imp, robbed of self, stoned, and somehow believing in the magic of products, say, the extreme whitening power of my mouthwash, or the intentionality of a playlist not made for me at all. In such moments, I am critical of my baseball brain, this life inside slot machine, the game made extremely myopic by everything that today is. I have been eating so fresh and so clean. Yes, it could have been easy in the prolonged spring with the sun going in and out. Still, I wonder that in summer I'll resign to ice cream each night, mostly for the texture. This one is called Through New York Rose, and I'll do a little outfit change. I got these glasses with this tint, and it's called New York Rose. So I've been seeing things through New York Rose. Through New York Rose. You could live your whole life in Queens in 99-cent paradise. It takes so much to leave. I saw a black cat bounding across Bushwick Avenue amid all that stop and go. My rampage morning, with half hours taking full hours, mistakes magnified. But Queens is the road too. My mother's summers horseback riding on the side of the parkway. When I saw Ronaldo walk away from the grave, he was waving back to Joy, blew a kiss, and said, "See you back at the ranch, baby." He cared for her cat, Miss Pretty, when she died, and then when Miss Pretty died, he hung her collar on a huge dead tree upside down in his yard to reveal a face. The collar was rain-soaked and completely art, entirely unarchival. So those are my newish ones. Gonna read maybe one or two from a chapbook that is hopefully, fingers crossed, coming out. We'll see. But this one's called Summer. I always say I'm never gonna read it again, and then we have just kind of the right moment to do so. And it's been about 100 degrees in New York, so it's very much summer. Fat, ugly pigeons near the West 4th Street movie theater love extending their whole heads. They latch onto crust with their beaks and flail it about, whirling a full 360 in their fanfare. I watch and I miss you, inhaling the pizza of others. Similarly migratory, the ice cream trucks of Bushwick play their song nonstop for at least 3 months in heat. The only way out is through. Mr. Softy, fated to his insuldom, is damned and unkissed. Your fan is pulling bad spirits into your room, convincing you to delete and remake, which you start to, but I took you on, pointing up at the ceiling, telling the boys that the chandelier is so clearly a girl, sad with her hair hanging down limp. You play the summer like truth or dare, and I ask, are you crying because it's a dead dog in the street, or your dead dog in the street? Your dog. I slap someone else across the face. I get better each time. I forgot to flip the calendar. June hung for all of July. Then, when a mouse door appears at the foot of a brick wall, unwilled, love. It has a physics learned only after it unfurls. The heirloom tomato I handed you at peak was my heart. Yours now, on the bus home, it's red against city blues and cautionary yellows. I'm ingesting the rainbow, downing Lucky Charms on a night astrologically best for manifesting, hoping for a compounding effect. The dryer sheet box copy demands, surround yourself with softness. But remember the desert? Remember top of the world? So I run in a human washing machine to techno in Mexico in lieu of a classic rock boyhood in Queens. For all I say, I want an armchair, a fireplace, a big mug. My footing was fucked. A friend had to teach me the two-step. I'm riding in a van called Tus Sueños, your dreams. Dreams you say you are having in snow piles and with all of your bones gone. Air conditioning runs at constant during the city heat wave. You idiot. All chill is false. All right. I'll read another baseball poem. This one is naturally the opening poem of the chapbook and called Opening Day. It's after Anne Boyer. You're saying all of this with a paper umbrella in your hair. You stuck it in when the margaritas came. I was citing our order of operations, a fear that we're so far gone from how things ought to go, and you counter by invoking queer temporality. You confirm what we know, like life during wartime. I distinctly remember my rhetorical, who else do I write about? It's opening day, the Yankees are winning, the men out on St. Mark's are cheering. You raise your fish taco to your mouth. Please tell me I'm not some guy. Please be the first mover. Please burst our bubbles. I'm bursting them before us now. I live and die by you. Our moments of magic and non-magic, your cum and period blood underneath my fingernails. I commit us to film, but the warm light could have been a trick, a reflection cast from my gold sheets. I try to give myself up to our unspoken. For all that you have an unmoving face, the rest of you moves toward me. And I'll read very much a jumbled one. Not sure if this is a poem or not, but we're going to rock with it. It's in my phone notes. It says, Meditation after a Mets loss. Life came back like montage or dial-up internet. People are always sad. Society will always lose. My paranoia that the food quality has left us similarly. I can admit I have the strength to live a few weeks in misattribution hell. The lights got loud. The food did get weird. I won't forget we had a proper spring this year. Thank you so much for having me.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that far-ranging baseball forward Go Mets set. That was Ari Lisner. Thank you for being with us, Ari. And Ari, you can find Ari on Instagram at Ari's Bar Mitzvah, which is ArisBarMitzvah. And Ari read from a little bit, I think we may have heard from One Shtick Pony, which is published by Bullshit Lit, but we also may have also heard from Non-Magic, which is Ari's newest chapbook and is looking for a publisher, I believe. So if there is somebody out there in the world who is listening and is like, that was fucking great, then you should commit it to print and reach out to Ari via these various media. So thank you, Ari, for bringing us to the very triumphal halfway point, and totally did not intend for this like beautiful East Coast ping pong to happen. We had Florida, New York. We're going to go back to Florida and then we'll be back to New York. But I'm very, very excited to introduce our third reader entering the back half of the proverbial order since we're in baseball world with D.W. Baker. And D.W. Baker is a poet living in St. Petersburg, Florida with his family. He writes poems and reviews poetry collections about place, bodies, belonging, and the end of the world. Thank you, D.W., for being here. I'm turning it over to you. So looking forward to what you're going to read.
Thank you so much for having me. Really excited to be here. Um, those four things, that's really what I write about over and over. Can't help it. A year or two ago, I saw Chen Chen read, and he opened with a poem by another poet. I don't know if he still does that, but I really liked it, so I'm going to do that tonight. And how fitting, on Nightlight Rhyme Night, I actually chose an Emily Dickinson poem, because I cannot help but walk in her influence, I find. This was written in 1862. The brain is wider than the sky, for put them side by side. The one the other will contain with ease, and you beside. The brain is deeper than the sea, for hold them blue to blue. The one the other will absorb, as sponges buckets do. The brain is just the weight of God, for heft them pound for pound, and they will differ, if they do, as syllable from sound. Emily Dickinson. Man, she was ahead of her time. The next poem is called Sounding the Body. This is one I wrote. It was published, I think, this year in an anthology by Rough Diamond Poetry called The Body. This is a microsonnet. That's a form I think I made. It's just a very short sonnet, 14 lines. Sounding the Body. Birdsong, blossoming, headlong, promising, tree limbs, crossed heart, headwinds, soft marks, constitute, earthbound, earshot, birth root, pure sound, afterthought. It's one of those ones like, man, Emily Dickinson got there first. The next one I'm going to read is called Eyes Stitched with Doom's Thread. This was published less than a week ago. This is in Resurrection magazine's 4th issue. The theme of that issue is Benumbed. And this poem is about doom scrolling. It's a form I've been working with. I call them Tonka because they're it's a section, 5 sections of 5 lines each. Anyway, Eyes Stitched with Doom's Thread. Section 1, Eyes. Vision points the mind like a needle guiding thread. Inner life may also sway the focus of the eye, stare behind, or seek ahead. Section 2, Stitched. Neural net of gossamer thoughts spiraled into strings. Massive textiles fraying edges beg for patches of what clings. Section 3, with. Television is approaching 100 years old. The internet is nearing 40. Wi-Fi is only 28. The first iPhone just turned 18. How long since your phone checked you? Section 4, dooms. The edges of my net are catching in these barbs of dopamine. Meanwhile, at their center waits a viral thought, an affect loop, sickened fiber, one-way string. Section 5, thread. If you do not amputate necrotic thread, first in patches, gradually, it will wreck the apertures for filtering your net. The next poem, it's titled Impulse, and it's capital I/MPULSE. Because, like, where does the subject separate? Anyway, wanted to call attention to that. This is a golden shovel. It's formed around a quotation by Mary Buchanan in her essay Asylum, which was published in Serotonin Poetry, I think this year. It's a short quote. It's the opening line. She wrote, "There's nothing impulsive about a synapse." So I used that to make this short poem, Impulse. In the floodplain of my neural landscape, there's this numinous river. When it overflows, nothing but swimming will do. Does that qualify as impulsive behavior? If knowing yourself partly is about sorting the signals, a reflex, an impulse, a trauma response, what to call this mad synapse? That one is unpublished. This next one is called Nomenclature. This was published in Corporeal Lit, wonderful magazine. Shout out to them. This is more about how our insides affect our outsides, if that makes sense. Nomenclature. Under the hospital's harsh fluorescent lights, the doctor called me by the name of all the pills I take. One by one, a litany replaced the name my parents gave this flesh. I am a body marked and charted, named and seen for minor features I did not request. Okay. This next one, I'm going to do my best to perform it. This next one is called Ear Sickness, and it is a cento pantoum composed only of lines from the film Blue Velvet by David Lynch. uh, we'll see how this one goes. This was published in New Verse Review. They did a celebration of the life and work of David Lynch after he passed. This is called Ear Sickness. I'm seeing something that was always hidden. Are you the one that found the ear? You put your disease in me. It helps me. It makes me strong. It's crazy, I know. I don't know where you come from. Are you the one that found the ear? I still have you inside of me. It's crazy, I know. I don't know where you come from, but in dreams I walk with you. I still have you inside of me. Tell me it's all right that I open myself to you. Tell me it's all right. In dreams I walk with you like a flame burning brightly. But when you left, gone was the glow. Tell me it's all right that I open myself to you. Tell me it's all right that you put your disease in me, that it helps me, makes me strong like a flame burning brightly. But when you left, gone was the glow. I'm seeing something that was always hidden. David Lynch, man. Fix your hearts or die. This next one is called Bending Myself Until Unison. This is another 5-section tanka. I do want to say the middle one in this is a concrete structure. So like at least half the meaning is in the shape. I'm just going to give you the sound though, so sorry. Uh, Bending myself until unison. 1. Bending. To find the eye that only bends requires many broken trusts, scattered just around the ends. 2. My. My container is emptying out. My preference is to what I know. My record shows a brittle calm. My mother knew her inner song. My music tunes all by itself, you know. 3. Selves. Act. Rare. Fate. Fact. Cure. 4. Until. When you finally find a reliable subject, a live wire of identity that carries shock no matter what the shape of life impinging in its loop. 5. Unison. When the property of my inner music resists ownership, I know that I have bent into the waiting, timeless mind. Um, Next one is another microsonnet of musical terms. This is, I think of them as lexical poems, but every word in here is just, it's a musical term. So make of that what you will. Microsonnet of musical terms. Demiquaver, ghost note, false harmonic, dotted rest, grace note, movable tonic, white noise, blue note, half time, repeat, sight read, whole note, cut time, break beat. That was also published. That was published in Feral. They had a whole issue about music, so it's in there. Yeah, Spondies. I love them. It's true. I'm going to end with this poem titled Last of All. And this is another golden shovel. It's from a quote by James Turrell, who was an artist. And I didn't use the whole quote, but I do want to give you the whole quote. He said, "We're made for the light of a cave and for twilight. Twilight is the time we see best. When we dim the light down and the pupil opens, feeling comes out of the eye like touch. Then you really can feel color and experience it." James Turrell. So that was what he wrote, which is like amazing and poetic in and of itself. And then I formed a 2-column poem, which I'm going to read horizontally, but you could read it vertically. Drifting when warm, we wind dim swept the fading light humming down into and within the horizon's pupil. Limit opens, animal feeling, kingdom comes, rapture out, last of all, the extinct eye, almost like heaven's touch. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, that was marvelous. DW, thank you so much for those incredibly crafted and beautiful and sonic and wonderful poems. I thought for a second there's this, I can't even remember who said it, but somebody said about Jeremy Prin's poems, they're math from a future that might not exist. And I was getting those vibes. I was like, I'm here. Blue Velvet has shot into 2025. Prosody is in the house. That was D.W. Baker who brought us that incredibly beautiful set. And you can find DW on Twitter at Lower Melody, LOWERMELODY, and Blue Sky at lowermelody.bsky.social. You can also keep up with all the good stuff DW Baker is publishing and working on in this beautiful poetry world at www.dwbakerpoetry.com. Marvelous. The Rhyme Night is here. Terrell is here. Yeah, this has been a beautiful night for light, like Nicole Slight poems. I'm here. I'm Terrell. It's good. And so I'm very, I feel like we're in a perfect like little landing, the landing lights are coming in for our last reader of the evening, who I'm so excited to introduce in Zach Spruce. Zach Spruce is a writer from Rochester, New York. So our ping pong from, Florida to New York to Florida, back to New York. Zach is from Rochester. He's the author of the chapbook Vanishing Sun from Bottle Cap Press. So Bottle Cap gets its reprise right now. He received his bachelor's in English and film studies from SUNY Brockport. He enjoys photography, espresso drinks, and looking for owls in the woods. The owls sometimes are what they seem, but Zach, you might tell us, a different story. Thank you for being here, and so excited to hear what you're going to close us with.
Tom, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you to Nicole, Ari, and DW as well. You were all awesome. Um, I'm just gonna get right into it because I know it's past everyone's bedtime. Um, the first one I'm gonna read tonight is called Hydra, and this was published recently in Serotonin Press. And it's a poem that I wrote in a bar one time. Hydra. You love translucent amber, ambrosia, and drowning in the din of last call. You love globes of ghastly light. You love guilt on tasting glasses, sticky mahogany. You love to hate all these sticky endeavors. You love nothing, you hydra. You love nobody. You love wind, how it carries our whispers through fields at purple dusk. You love to lie beneath a ligneous crown in sap and needles and think razors, stars, amphetamines, chasms, cenotaphs, green flames, owl eyes, nepenthe. Thanks. And this next one, um, I'm going to read is also about drinking too much, which I am glad to say I have no longer been doing. This is called Where Black Waters Flow Swift. Love to walk in through cavernous doorway, give pause to towering iron rack, where rest the weathered oak barrels, their guts filled with dark spirits aging with painstaking torpor. Love to hang my wax canvas backpack on hidden hooks, jutting from the stone tiles below the mahogany bar. Love to swiftly pen another vapid poem about the mahogany bar, rambling with pen in hand, shaky, sinistral scroll, inundating the pages with temporary madness, slashed out words proliferating. Love to imbibe until brain numbed and dopamine flooded, until upon a lonesome throne of ethanol fixating on bartenders pulling wooden tap handles back, watch the cascade of nectar flooding glass and gold foil glinting on stainless steel tanks lording over us all. Okay. I am gonna read a couple from this chapbook now. It's called Vanishing Sun, um, released from Bottle Cap Press. Uh, the first one I'm gonna read is about an old abandoned psych center in Rochester. Uh, that's like really tall and full of asbestos and probably haunted. It's called Lobotomy. Onyx clouds swirl, late November soul like a copper coin in blue spruce branches. Down on Elmwood, Terrace Tower listens to itself, to whispering decay in ruinous halls. We mounted granite at rooftop's edge, 16 floors up, and drank purple night, luminous cityscape. Gonna read a couple more from uh this next one is called Wendy's Sweet and Sour Sauce. Mother, I still remember overwhelming, salty sting of soggy French fries. How you left the detritus build in the back seat. Crumpled straw wrappers, greasy bags, cracked plastic cutlery, mold-speckled nuggets between Coca-Cola stained seats. Where no light could reach, not unlike aphotic depths of cold ocean. I know you tried as best you could, but you saw in me disorder. I remember fine blue powder swirling into cinnamon mottes. I still remember the sweet and sour sauce, the glowing pink goo where future humans dream eternal while sapped. All right, this is the last one I'm going to read from the chapbook, and this poem is about Blade Runner, and also the world is ending. So it's called Voight Comp Test. An airsat's owl perched in the umbra, where the silence of falsity pervades us. In your emerald eyes, magma flickers for but a second, O replicant love of mine. Winter dread surrounds us as we sit and wonder if anything's worth saving. As black flames rise ever upward, is anything worth saving? Whirring gears, darkness, thick smog, pistons, cries, cybernetic tendrils enshrouding wilting flora. A mechanized funeral dirge inexorably resounds, human, inhuman, human, inhuman, human, inhuman. All right. And I guess I'll finish this out with the new shit. This is the poem that I finished most recently, and I have no idea what it's about, but I hope you enjoy it. It is called Hornet is the Word of the Day. I'm hornet is the word of the day. I'm duct tape on mouth. I'm paper octagons. I'm a connoisseur of apathy. I'm fentanyl and Dippin' Dots. I'm manic. I'm freeform jazz. I'm an apiary. I'm drone warfare. I'm pumpkin guts on asphalt. I'm look at you all covered in gold. I'm lilting mall soft playlist swirling in the air. I'm brass pendulum in grandfather clock. I'm did you know Dippin' Dots is a cryogenics company now. I'm brisk chill, a fall death pierces skin like fishhook. I'm oaked golden syrup. I'm whore, I'm net, I'm is, I'm word of the day. I'm coral and smoke in the sky. Okay, and I had one more. Um, it's a poem that was in the Notes app on my phone, but I actually wrote it, I think maybe like a year and a half ago. But it's actually it's more relevant now, so I feel like I might as well just read it. I never edited it or did anything to it, so it's pretty raw. It's called Fuck Elon Musk. And okay, so I don't want Elon Musk's emerald dust-coated fingers rooting around in my skull, poking and prodding all the connections. I don't need ChatGPT to frolic carefree through meadows, writing sonnets about the advent of the singularity while conservatives bring back child labor. I don't need it to paint portraits of people with a curious number of digits, incorrect number of phalanges. No, I don't want Amazon drones buzzing around my home, no disposable vapes tossed to the wayside, their Swedish fish juice and battery acid swimming down into the storm drains. I wish Neuralink could remain nothing more than faded ink in a pulp paperback, cover torn, dusty on the shelves. I have no mouth and I must scream. I just want to sit on the park bench and watch the monarch butterflies flutter in the glow of the setting sun, scraping lofty tops of metropolis, and imagine veils of ivy consuming all, and then I wish to wake from this. Thank you all so much.
Veils of ivy consuming all. Thank you, Zach, for bringing us to this beautiful point of, omnipresent greenery. That was Zach Spruce who just closed us out so marvelously. Zach is on Instagram at MK Ultra Magic Cult, MKUltramagicCult. And Zach's chapbook, again, that you heard a little bit from, was Vanishing Sun from Bottle Cap Press, who is a beautiful publisher of two of our readers tonight. This has been absolutely marvelous, everyone. Thank you so much. When we come to the end of these readings, I'm always just so grateful to our readers for being here and sharing their marvelous work with us. I so appreciate it, and I so hope you won't be a stranger to Nightlight. And thank you too to our listeners. We got some folks in the Zoom call with us, or maybe you're listening on YouTube. Whatever floats your boat, we are so, so glad to have you. Thanks from the bottom of my heart for finding time to participate in this way in a poetry reading amidst everything in the world. I really hope that we might see you at our next reading, which is scheduled for July 17th. Very selfishly excited to invite you to that one because it's going to be the launch reading for my next book, which is called A Letter from the Mountain and Other Poems. I'm really excited to have some folks from Animal Heart Press reading, and just it's going to be a great time. So I hope you might be able to be there. We always close with a poem, so I am excited in the kind of eschatological mode that kind of has emerged. I'm going to read a poem I posted. If you have been on the socials, you've probably seen this one because I posted it. I don't even remember when the hell I did, but it's by the inimitable Sharon Olds. It's from her collection, The Sign of Saturn, and it's just called When. And Basil's going to read part of it, I guess. I wonder now only when it will happen, when the young mother will hear the noise like somebody's pressure cooker down the block going off. She'll go out in the yard, holding her small daughter in her arms, and there, above the end of the street, in the air above the line of the trees, she will see it rising, lifting up over our horizon, the upper rim of the gold ball, large as a giant planet starting to lift up over ours. She will stand there in the yard holding her daughter, looking at it rise and glow and blossom and rise, and the child will open her arms to it. It will look so beautiful.